Hello. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's Pick-a-Read. The question I chose for this one is, what don't I see? Which hopefully is an empowering thing in the sense of like, maybe it's something you don't see that could be of benefit to you, like an asset, or maybe it's something, what don't I see, that's maybe going on that maybe I don't really care for, but if I see it, I can deal with it and put it where it needs to go so it doesn't cause issues, potential issues later. Stuff like that. It could be about seeing the truth about somebody. Could be something like that. So we're going to go with that. The choices are going to be this crow. I don't know if it's picking it up on camera that well, but there's elaborate drawings on it, which I think are very pretty. So if I kind of move that around there, if you want a better look at it. Hopefully it's not glaring too much. The second one is this sphere, which is actually purple, and hopefully it'll show up on camera, or it doesn't come out of there. But if I do this, I think you'll see it actually. See, because I'm looking at it and it's purple. There we go. So it looked clear, but there's this finite dust stuff in there. Is there a website for this? Here's the information at the bottom. If you're interested, for whatever reason. Okay, that's choice 2, the purple sphere, purple glittery sphere. I'm assuming you can see that. And the last, but not least, is this cat box, this cosmic cat. I consider it the cosmic cat. Do I have anything in there? There's a box. There's the inside with this blue, in case that helps you decide. That's the other side of the box. I just think it's really, I just like this box. It was a gift. I think all of these things were gifts, actually, ironically. Okay, so if you need a minute to decide, let's put the cat like that. Crow, sphere, which is purple, which doesn't take very long to settle, apparently. There we go, purple sphere, and the cat. Cosmic cat is what I hope I'm going to call it. We'll find out. We'll find out. All right. Of course, if you'd like a reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thank you very much for watching. Let's go ahead and get into your selection. Hello, this is for those of you who chose the crow for What Don't I See? Okay. Hopefully it comes forward in an empowering way. Six of Swords. Is somebody kind of getting away with something? I feel like somebody's getting away with something. Again, remember the question is something you're not seeing. So it should take a minute, I would expect, for you to kind of click in with what this is talking about, because you care deeply about whoever or whatever this is about. You have this looking out for somebody else energy in the past. Might not be current, but at some point in your life, you definitely looked out for this. So it could be a job situation. Maybe you helped train this person, or you gave this person a lifeline. Hey, if you need anything, let me know. Something like that. Could be something like that easily. This energy is very self-sufficient, and I feel like this energy is not letting their true gifts be known. I don't know why. It's a general read. Let's keep that in mind. This person has a lot of potential that they don't want you to see it. They don't want you to see their potential. Why? Like, why wouldn't they want you to see that? Six of Cups reversed, and then the Moon card reversed as well. You don't seem to think there's anything there. That's interesting. The Moon card reversed showed up right on the past card. You don't seem to think there's much here to work with, is what I'm also getting, which is why you might be looking out for this person. You're not thinking they have that potential. More than likely a person, could be a situational thing, could be general read, you know. And there's no connection. There is some history with this, but you don't see it. This energy is hiding something. It's like behind this. It's like, I shouldn't say they're hiding it. They're keeping it from people. They don't want people to know what they're actually capable of. This reminds me, it's been a long time. When I was in school, I used to know a couple people who they had taken courses outside of school, and they were very much ahead of the class on a lot of things, but they never brought it forward. They never let people know that. They just wanted what they were doing to be easy. Like, I feel like they, if I remember right, they came from a different school, and they'd already done what we were doing, and they asked questions and act like they were learning, but they already knew it. And I remember one person sharing it with me, telling me, well, it's easy, and we want it, since we already know it, it's easy, and why not have it easy? And I think that's what, so I almost feel like that's what this is about. They feel like if people don't know what they're actually capable of, it's a lot easier for them, and that's what they like. And they get to kind of pull back a little bit and not put full effort into the situation because people aren't expecting a lot from them. That's what I'm getting from this. So, like, I'm kind of curious why they're bringing this forward. Like, why is this important for you to know? Because you have a decision coming up. And for some reason, it may not be just one person. It may be a couple people. There's more potential here than meets the eye. They can do more. Whoever this is, whatever this is, it can do more. It's just not. I feel like whatever this is, it's used to you doing it. Or used to you allowing this or you seem to not understand the potential of it. I don't know why. I feel like whoever you're dealing with, I think they're kind of playing it that way. Like, well, that's the best we can do. And you're like, I guess it is. I feel like I'm not challenging it. And I feel like you're just agreeing with it. Kind of like, well, this is what we got. This is what it is. So that's just what it is. And I feel like there's a high sense of responsibility for you. The problem here is you're getting an opportunity to move on from this situation to go into the next leg of your journey that you might pass up because you're feeling other people need you. Success is trying to come in for you. I think that's why this reading is even coming. Because I was just like, why? Okay, so you're not seeing it. They're not looking like they're going to change. But they're saying, you've got success. You have a successful thing coming in for something successful. Something that will take you away from this situation if you choose to take it. And I get like some apprehension, like, I don't know if I should do that. I don't know if that's the right thing to do. I'm worried if I do, what happens to the people here or what happens to this situation. This situation has the potential to thrive a lot better. It seems to be relying on you more than it should. I feel like whoever is connecting with this reading has a very big heart and really cares about whoever or whatever you're dealing with. And that's why you're handling it the way you are, because you're like, I care. I don't want this to be a problem. I don't want these people or situation to have detriment because I walk away. But I'm getting like, this reading is saying, let it go. One day, sooner or later, you're not going to be able to do this anyway. Sooner or later, it's going to have to be handed off to somebody else anyway. You're not always going to be able to do it. Sooner just gives you the opportunity. If you go sooner, it gives you the opportunity to change your mind a lot easier. Down the road later, you won't have a choice. You'll just move on one way or another. One day, one way or another, you will move on from this. Right now, success is knocking at your door. And this reading is saying, if this is hitting for you, they want you to take that success. You don't have to do anything, but it's saying that success, there's no reason for you to feel bad about it. And I feel like you're weighing it out. You got the Justice card here. You're trying to make sense of it. You don't want to like screw somebody over, or you don't want to like, I don't know if that's right for me to do. I'm just worried if I do that, what happens to this situation? What happens to these people? I feel like it weighs heavily on you, which speaks well of you as a good person. But at the same time, I feel like they're saying, that's not going to actually help the situation. You're meant to go into this next moment of prosperity. I get that there's something here where when this information comes, I do understand that you're going to sit on it for a minute. I get the Six of Swords kind of like, I have a chance to do something different, but I'm not talking about it with other people. I feel like only the people who have to know do know. And I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I feel like there's a period of time here that I'm not saying yes and I'm not saying no. I'm kind of just sitting with it. And I don't feel like I'm letting myself think about it too much. Which they're saying, give yourself a chance to think about it. You are a good person. You are doing good things. And you could stick with this. But if you do stick with this, not only do you not evolve, the situation won't either. You've done what you needed to do. You served your purpose. You did good. Ironically, I feel like whatever you were meant to do in this situation, you have achieved it. You have achieved it. But if you stick with it longer, I just feel like you're missing opportunities that are meant to advance you to the next level. And also this situation. You know what I mean? Another idea, an option, they're saying you could do is realize this is part of literally your life journey. That's what it says. Life journey. It's time to move forward. Embrace the situation. Realize sooner or later you will have to move on from it anyway. Doing it this way, it's more peaceful. It's more to your advantage, and actually, the situation will still thrive. It just reminds me of like people having it well. And they could have changed it. They could have done different things. But maybe it was just a moment where they just needed things to be a little bit easier for a little while. And maybe that was the point. They just needed things to be a little easier for a little while. And that's fine. But that time is passing either way. You going on to your next endeavor, they're saying that's kind of what you should do. And feeling bad about that, it's kind of like, I feel like that's a reverse manipulation. Is that a reverse manipulation? Like, when I say reverse, I almost feel like it's unintentional. I feel like maybe I should be saying unintentional manipulation. Does reverse manipulation really fit that? I don't know. I feel like it's more unintentional. If you're willing to go on, you'll be fine. There will be a period of time where you'll keep second guessing yourself. Should I have really done that? I'm happier now, but is that really fair to the other people? I feel like you're going to question yourself for a little while, but then you're going to immerse yourself in the situation. Then you're going to go into that Queen of Cups energy, which if you didn't know what that is, there's another card here saying you will be a lot happier. Things will thrive for you. You're going to go into your next level. What you don't see is that it's okay for you to move on to this situation. It's not bad. It's not selfish. It's kind of like the universe is saying it's time for you to go to the next level. You've done well here. It's time for somebody else to step in and do their part. I feel like that's what they're saying you don't see. This situation also, I keep getting whatever you're dealing with, being person or situation or group of people, whatever it is, they're holding back. They're holding back what they're actually capable of because it's easier for you to do what they should be doing and you just seem to not question it, which is okay for right now. But they're saying, don't let this hold you back. Move on and let this go into its next evolution, and you can also grab your success and go into your next evolution, and to not feel bad about it if you can help it. All right. That was a quick one. I'm going to shut that down there. I hope that helps. Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thanks again for watching, and have a great day. Hello, this is for the people who chose the purple sphere, which it'll probably settle pretty quickly, but hopefully you can see the purple that's there now. What don't you see? Judgment is already in your favor. That's good. We like that. We like that. You're preoccupied with something else. If you don't grab whatever it is that's in front of you, because judgment is already in your favor, if you don't grab it soon, I think it's going to walk away on you. You have the potential to get it, but you have to choose it. And I feel like this is all about what you don't see. I feel like they're trying to highlight, hey, this is in front of you. If you don't want it, that's fine. They just want you to know it's there. And then once you see it, if you're like, yeah, no, that's not for me. That's cool. That's totally cool. I feel like this reading's just like, yeah, but we want to make sure you see it. That way you decide. If you decide, no, not for me, cool. But they don't want it to be like one of those things like, I didn't know that was there for me. Because like, you know, when you cross over at the end of life, you see all the things you missed. They don't want this to be one of those moments where it's like, oh, I didn't realize that was right in front of me the whole time. This is somebody else. This is somebody else. A very active energy. I feel like it's very busy. Very busy. Which is probably one of the reasons you're not really seeing it. This is somebody who is constantly putting out fires. The Lover's card like this, the Five of Wands also like this, which means things are good but not the best. Sometimes they look like they're going a little bad, but then they don't. Bringing down conflict, stopping conflict, getting there in the nick of time, keeping things going before things go to pot. This person is constantly picking up pieces and keeping things going and keeping things from falling apart. It's like they're like a professional Band-Aid or something. I don't know, something. They just keep fixing things, and it really is important to them that people get along and that they try to help people as much as possible. They try to keep the situation going, and they do their best to do so, and they seem to be successful with it. Now that is the energy that seems to be very much pivotal to your success or a potential here that you have. I think there's more of a joining in here. There could be a joining in one way or the other. Excuse me. What was that? Piece of fuzz, cat fuzz. Now the center energy is like, I feel like I know that there's a possibility here, but I'm not really thinking it has the ability to go very far. So, like, one of the options I'd use to describe this, kind of like, you know, a company I really like is offering a part-time position that's going to last maybe 2 months or less. And it's kind of like, oh, that's nice. I feel like I could probably get that, but I don't want something just for 2 months. I want a permanent job. And it's almost like, I see that that's there, but I don't know that that's really going to serve me. Like, I don't want to just work there for about 2 months and then, well, bye. Because I'm getting like, I do feel like there's something good here offered to me, but it doesn't have the longevity or something like that I'm looking for. It doesn't have the deeper assets. Or another version, I can use a similar one, kind of like, there's this company and there's a lot of nice people there and I like it. I like the people, but I don't think like what they're offering isn't the pay or the benefits that I'm looking for. I could get it because these people are nice to me and I like them and I would like the job, but I don't think it would support the life that I need. That could be another thing. It doesn't seem to have the benefits or the connections that I would like. Something like that. And I'm getting like, there's a lot more beneath the surface than you know. Whatever this is, there's a lot more beneath the surface that's just hidden. Whatever the situation is, it doesn't bring that stuff forward until a couple months down the road is what I'm getting. This could even be a person. Maybe there's a romantic interest here, but you're like, yeah, but I just feel like they go in circles and they don't really advance in life. I don't even know if and maybe you feel like they don't communicate that well. You're like, they're very attractive and they're nice, but I don't feel like they communicate that well. And I'm thinking that would have a shelf life because if you can't communicate, where can we really go with this? It might be something like that. Whatever analogy works for you, it's a general read, of course. There's more here. There's more that this situation does not show easily. There's more. You got to get to know the situation to find out more. This situation could lead you into a whole new section of life. It could be life-altering. Literally life-altering. Where you are now versus where you are from like 10 years from now could be completely different with this choice by moving forward with this. In a positive way, from what I'm getting. This situation also is not going to try to convince you to give it a chance. It waits to see what your true intentions and your true interests are. Be it a job, a person, whatever it may be. I'm getting, this situation has seen its share of people who just show up for the party and then leave before cleanup, if that makes sense. Like the people who just show up to have a good time, and then when things get serious, they're like, I gotta go. Never mind, it's not fun here anymore. I gotta leave. And no, I'm not gonna help you clean up. I was just here for the party. Gotta go. Bye. This person or situation has seen their share of people who do that. They just show up for the party and then they don't do anything after that. They're just here for the good times. That's it. For that reason, I think that's why they're not showing all their assets. They don't want people to know that until they can see sincere interest coming back towards them. Like, oh, you're going to stay and help clean up. You're going to stay for the future events too. You're going to help plan these events and be a part of not only the good times, but the work times. You're going to be a part of the whole thing. We like that. That's good. I like that a lot. There is more connection. There's a social connection with this, with the community. So if it's a work situation, it's the work environment. It's a very tight community is what I'm getting. If it's a person, like if it's a romantic interest, there's probably very strong family ties and or friend ties. This is a very social person. I feel like they play it very close to their chest, almost like a poker hand. People don't realize how social this person really is. I feel like they're social with selective people. Kind of reminds me sort of me. I'm very social with certain people, but like I don't go out to like public events very often, but I have certain people I'll visit, and I have certain people I love to visit, and certain groups I'll go and hang out with, but it's more of a private affair. It's more of like a selective group of people I already know I like. They might have one of those things going on. Why is that there? Have we already talked about that? We might have already talked about that. I feel like I kind of did. You don't know what's going on here. You're thinking about it, but you don't know, and you might be misjudging it. This is the thought card. This is what's going on in your thoughts. And they're saying the devil is like, I see what it is. I know what it is. I don't think that's for me. And they're saying, you see it, you don't know it, and you should research it a little bit more if you really want to test your knowledge. That's the advice with this. Test your knowledge. Prove that you're right. Prove to yourself that you're right. Because I'm getting that's part of why you're not seeing it. Because you already kind of like said, oh, I see what that is. I know what that's about. I'm not going to go to that. Which, that's a normal thing in life. We all do that to some degree from time to time. Some more than others, some less than others. But everybody, sooner or later, there's certain things we just see it and we just snap judge it and like, oh, that, yeah, I know what that's about, and we just move on. Whatever this is, they're saying you're judging it too quickly. Test your judgments. Just test them. That's all. Nobody has to know. You can just do it yourself. Test it, because you might miss out on something that's really good for you. If you're willing to do that, and test your judgment, get in there and find out what's going on here, like the judgment card is literally here, that's going to change things. It's not going to be that hard. So for example, say it's a job, go through the interview process, ask your questions, get to know things. If it's a person, like a romantic interest, suggest to them, like, hey, how about we hang out and do this? Something where you can talk to them a little bit, really get to know what they're about, what they're like. You know what I mean? Whatever works for you. I'm not going to give examples because there's a lot of things. When I was younger, I used to have this thing about, trying to find a restaurant to go to where it was at least a half hour or more away so that we could talk in the car and I could get to know them in the car and then have, when I was younger, though. I'm not younger now. There's things. Whatever it is, they're saying, find a way to test your knowledge. Find out if you're right. If you're right, no harm, no foul. Okay, this wasn't for you. Thank you for the nice time. Move on. That's that. You're going to find out, though, very quickly, because I'm getting... Prosperity doesn't take a lot to come forward. And I feel like whatever it is you're dealing with, whether it's a business, a person, whatever it may be, there's teasers coming forward. And I do feel like it's very alluring. Like, every little bit that you give, they give something in return. So it's kind of like, if it's a job situation, oh, I have these skills. And they're like, oh, you have those skills? We have these opportunities. Oh, really? What other opportunities? Well, we have these opportunities. Do you have the skills to match those? Well, we don't have those skills, but I have these skills. Oh, you have those skills? Well, we have these opportunities. Like, the more you banter it back and forth. Not banter. I don't know if banter is the right word, but play with it a little bit back and forth. Play with the situation, especially if you're kind of going into this thinking, I don't really know that this is for me. Play with it a little bit. Like if you're not thinking it's really for you anyway, and you just try to get some extra information, could be one of those times where you don't want to be like, what's the word? You don't want to be crude, but maybe you could be a little rude. Does that make sense? You don't want to be crude, but you could be a little rude. Ask questions that maybe I shouldn't be asking this question, but ask it. Find out what happens. Just ask it in a fairly polite way. I know readings are for entertainment purposes only, so do what you think is right. A little rude, just not crude. A little rude, just a little, a smidgen, a little bit. Not crazy amount. You might be surprised. Your natural energy, I feel like if this keeps going the way it just seems like it's happening anyway, if this reading is hitting, you're just going to pass it up and you're not even going to investigate it, and you're going to miss this whole opportunity. But they're saying all it takes is for you to like step forward and kind of like, you know what? Maybe I'll play Inspector Clouseau. Is it Clouseau? I don't know if that's the right one. From the Pink Panther, is it Inspector Clouseau? Something like that. You'd be surprised what you're going to find out. It will shock you and actually empower you to go to the next level. A lot of information is going to come to you. I feel like if this keeps going forward, information will just start coming towards you very easily. Some of you are naturally intuitive. You'll just get these little inklings like, I wonder, and just ask those questions. Things that pop in your head, like, that's left field, but let me ask it anyway. Go with it. Go with it. Find out what's there. Kind of like, oh, this business, do they participate in sports? Or do the employees have like a team, or do they play softball together, or just something random off in left field? Like, oh, I'm surprised you asked that. But now actually, yeah, during the spring and summer, we have these people, they get together and they play softball here. And blah, 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 blah. You might be surprised. It just left brain, just things flying like, oh, or left brain, right brain, whatever you want to call it, however that works. Go for it. If you're willing to try, you're going to be surprised. You're going to be surprised. That's what I'm getting. My ears itching. It's driving me crazy. The situation, so this is making me think you're going to hear a lot. Listen carefully. Listen much, speak little. Listen, but definitely I don't think speak little is right. Speak a fair amount, but concentrate on listening and speak when necessary. Speak effectively, speak purposefully. Because I don't think speaky little works in this one for some reason. Listen like nobody's business. Like listen. But make sure you actively ask the questions that you want to ask. So like, listen much, listen a lot, and ask with moderation, but effectively. Okay. Because I'm getting something here that didn't seem like it had that much to give. When that wheel turns, all these last three cards are fun. You got Cthulhu with saying the world can be what you want to make it. A whole new phase could come in your life. It could be life-changing. The Two of Cups is a positive card. You could be very, very happy with this. And literally, this is the happiness card, which I wonder what that means. Sarcasm is fun, isn't it? You could be very, very happy with this. You don't want to miss out on this happiness. And all you got to do is investigate on it and find out, is this real? Does this really hold water? And you could have something that's very much worth it for you. I don't think I showed this, so I will. This is not something that slows down. This is something that speeds up, but I feel like this is positive because I feel like there's more fire in this situation. It's just hidden. This is the Ace of Wands, which is fire card. Ace of Wands, like, to me, that's a very beautiful card. You'd be surprised what else this situation has to offer, but you won't know unless you investigate. And I feel like this is one of those things, as years keep going by, more things just keep coming, more possibilities, more opportunities, more things to build from. All right, I feel like I could talk about that all day, but I'm not. I'm going to shut it down here. Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thanks again for watching. Have a great day. Hello, this is for those of you who chose the Cosmic Cat. What don't you see? Something you could do that you don't believe in. Why don't you believe in it? You might be holding yourself back. You might even believe it's not time yet, or you don't know enough yet, or you don't have the abilities you need. Possibilities are there. Okay, everybody else would use this other deck. For some of you, I'm just going to be fair. It could easily be love. It doesn't have to be. This is the passing the test card. It doesn't have to be, especially with the general read, it doesn't have to be romance. This could be something you've had something similar to it, or you've had this situation before. Could be somebody that you were in a relationship before that wants to come back. Could be a job you had before that wants to come back. Could be something like you worked for yourself at one point, then you went and worked for somebody else, and maybe you could go back working for yourself again, maybe not the same way you did before, but something like that. It might be one of those things where you know it's there, but what you're not seeing is that you do have the ability to make it happen. The thing is, I feel like there's a road in front of me, and it's kind of like, I feel like that's a long road. But you can have what you want. You don't have to do anything, obviously. I feel like I say that a lot lately. You don't have to do anything. Okay, something is waiting for you. It's something I feel like you want. You've had something like it before. But I keep getting, like, the energy it would take to make it happen. It makes me feel like I could get it started, I just don't know if I could finish it. I feel like I'm having one of those moments. Like, I could get it started, but I don't really know that I could hold on to it for X amount of time to get to the end. For example, if this is something like you want to be a teacher, just for argument's sake, and I think where I am, I think it's 6 years to become a teacher, roughly, I think. Don't quote me on that. It's kind of like I could put in that, I could try to make that happen, I could start it, but I feel like I'm not totally confident that I would stick with it that long to actually bring my dream to fruition, and I feel like that might be part of the stress. And the thing is, I am very motivated to make it happen, but at the same time, I'm very honest with myself in the sense of, like, I don't know that I have the staying power with this one. I don't know that that's going to really work for me for where I want to go in life. There's more to come from that. I feel like there's something I'm missing. Because a possibility is waiting. It might be who's presenting it too, just to be fair. Because I'm getting, you don't have to accept current terms. What does that mean? So the way somebody's presenting it, I feel like they're saying this is the right way to do that. Cosmic Cat, whoever that may be, this is the right way to do that. And if you want this, this is how you have to do that. Which I always like to, I say it a lot lately anyway. You don't have to do anything. Where am I going? So I'm watching this play out. Like, so I said the teacher thing, right? And I've known people who've kind of done this before, where they get involved in teaching as subbing. They sub for a while, and then they become teacher aides. Meanwhile, they're going through schooling while they're doing that. So I've seen people do that before. I don't know how realistic that is. I guess if you can do night school, I don't see why not. But I'm getting, you can define this more to your liking. Also, like, I was giving that example of teacher, and I believe it's 6 years. I could be wrong. I could be flat out wrong. But I think it's something like that where I am anyway. And whether it takes 6 years, 12 years, 15 years, the way you got to do it, you have the ability to readjust it the way you need to get it done. You know what I mean? If you're like, I can only do that type of coursework part-time, then that's what you can do. But I also get that honesty, because I keep feeling with this, the timing makes me nervous. It's kind of like, I feel like it's going to take too long, and then I'm not going to want to stick with it. The passion is here to back it up. And when I see Kathumi, that's a version of the world, that's a whole new phase coming in, but that's you having control of that and you choosing to make it happen. That's how I read that card anyway. I wouldn't say that's exactly how the author intended it, but that's when that card comes in, that's how it comes across for me, just to be fair. Which I should have the details for the deck below if you want to find that deck and find it for yourself. This energy is offering you a possibility, but you don't have to accept it on their terms. Let's just keep that in mind. Whatever this is, it's the part that you don't see is that you can step back, research for yourself other ways to make this happen, and you might be surprised at what actually fits for you. Because I'm thinking as somebody who is a teacher, and I want to say they went through, I don't know how long they went to school, honestly, but I know that they're still finishing up the courses, and I think they've been a teacher for a good 2 or 3 years, and they're still finishing up courses. So I don't know exactly how that goes, but not that you're going for teacher. That doesn't have to mean that's what you're going for this. But there's more things, there's more possibilities within there. You might be surprised. They're like, do some research on your own. Don't just accept what somebody else is telling you. That's what you're not seeing. They're saying, this is how you do it. Cosmic Cat, this is how it's done. You want it, that's how you do it. But if you do your own research, you're like, well, that's one way to do it. Then there's this way, and then that way. And actually, what's that? I could do it that way? I could maybe I could do it that way. That's what's out here. For some reason, somebody's trying to impress upon you there's only like this one way to do it. It's not true. That's a big thing of what you're not seeing. If we keep moving forward, we got to pace this out. Especially if this part of this reading is hitting you where you're like, I could start it, but I'm not convinced I'll stay with it. If that's really hitting for you, like nailing hard for you, they're saying, first of all, step back, reevaluate the options. That's one thing, of course. But then they're saying, you already know that doesn't work for you. You already know that, you could start jumping and running and you could sprint, but you can only sprint so far. If you take this marathon race like a sprint, it's not gonna go well. You're right. That you are right about, definitely. But they're saying, remember, you know that this is not a short race. This is going to be a marathon. You don't want to sprint the whole thing. You're not going to do well. It's going to be hard. It's going to be difficult. Get your warrior energy in check. Address how things really work for you. How have you gone through things in the past that have taken a long time? How have you succeeded in things in the past that have taken a long time? Then trap yourself in it. Trap yourself in it. How do you do that? Trap yourself in it? Where's that other dice? Trap yourself in it. Like, don't give yourself a choice to say no. Don't let yourself fight yourself. Just kind of like, this is what I did. This is what I got to do. Pace it out the way it's correct for you. And then lock yourself into it. Trap yourself in it. I feel like I'm not saying that right. Realize that you have to complete this. And I cringe when I say have to, because I feel like you don't have to do anything. Because I've seen people do something like this where, people are like, well, I'm going to pay back the loan either way, so I intend to get the degree because I'm just not going to go through this and just have a loan to pay back without the degree to show for it. I can't afford to. What is this? 8 of Swords. Let's do the 8 of Swords by itself. I do this myself. Concentrate on where you expect to be when this is over. And what else can you add to this journey that's more pleasurable for you? So I do this for myself. It's kind of like, well, I want this goal. And it's kind of like, say, like it's the 6-year thing for the teacher thing. It seems like this is the easiest thing to fit in here. It doesn't have to be that. It doesn't have to be 6 years. It could be 8, 12, whatever. It could be 16 if you do, or it could be 16 if you do. Could be. And build in things there so it's enjoyable for you. Give yourself time to just do it piece by piece to where it's like, maybe it becomes a part of your life. Maybe it just seems to work. I keep getting this thing about trapping yourself in your success. Part of it is like addressing the truth about how things work for you. And you know that better than anybody else. So like for me, for example, I know that if I want to be successful with a project, I have to step back and be like, all right, let's not go crazy. Because when I was younger especially, I would go nuts and I'd be like all about things for 2-3 days. Constantly. Then I would burn out and I'd be like, I can't even look at it. I would get like X amount of distance through a project and be like, I can't even look at it. I'm just so sick of doing it. Now that I'm older, I allow myself, I kind of like when I start a project, I'm like, all right, every day I got to spend at least 15 minutes, but no more than half an hour. And I literally cut up projects that way. I get a lot more done and I don't get burned out. And I realize that's my thing. I get burned out and then I don't want to do it. Nope, don't want it. Nope, done. So I break it up into pieces, at least 15 minutes, no more than half an hour. And I make myself stick to that. All right, half hour's about here. I need to stop. And I stick with it. That way I don't burn out. That way I don't feel like it's holding me down, like it's this mountain of thing I can't seem to overcome. That might be something that helps you. Hopefully that is helpful if this reading is hitting. I'm getting that, allow the journey also to evolve and realize it will evolve as you go. If you choose to pursue it, of course. If you choose to pursue it, it will evolve as it goes, and as long as you allow it to evolve. So, you're going through, say you're learning some type of vocation, whatever it is. There might be opportunities here. You can get a part-time job somewhere that matches your vocation, so you can get actually some experience while you're learning. You might have other opportunities. You might meet people who you get to have fun with. Make time for those people respectively. Let yourself make acquaintances. Let yourself know. There's a lot of fun here that you can add in. Part of this is saying, let yourself add in the fun. I almost feel like I'm getting singled out for this because there's another one. I used to do this too. I used to get hyper-focused on certain things, and I was just like, I got to get this done. I can't do that. I got to do this. Can't do that. Got to do this. And I would just be so hyper-focused on the task at hand, I would miss out on a lot of fun. Granted, you don't want to be all fun and no substance, clearly, but they're saying, allow yourself to have fun within respect to the situation. Don't be all work. Granted, if you're going to have success with this situation, you can't be all play either. Granted, but like the analogy I would use, in a week's time, how many times did you have fun? So I would say at least twice a week, you should have a 3-hour block of fun. Does that make sense? When I say that, social fun with other people. That's my thing. Twice a week, you should have a 3-hour block of social fun with other people. Doesn't mean that's the only fun you have the whole week, but you know what I mean? Because, watching certain TV shows, going for a run, going for a walk, doing certain things with, petting your cat, whatever. That counts too, yeah, but, social fun. So, I'm still looking back, realizing that was kind of funny that I had to make that a rule for myself. Try to have social fun at least 3 hours twice a week. Again, I feel called out with this reading. I feel very called out. Let the situation evolve. If you do pursue it and it does start to grow, let it evolve. Let the happiness, let the joy come in. If it slows up your timeline and it extends it a little bit, let the joy enrich that, because the joy will enrich that. You'll get there when you get there. It'll still be great. You don't want to get to that finish line and be burnt out. You want to get to that finish line and be re-energized so you can enjoy it even more. Keep that in mind. It will take a while, whatever this is, but you will also find the more you stick with it, the more it's going to kind of ring true with, this is where I need to be. This feels right to me. The deeper you get, the better it feels. There's another person I'm thinking of. I don't know the exact details of what was going on, but it was hard for her to concentrate in certain things. And she got into nursing. How did she do that? I haven't talked to her in a long time. She got into, like, there's a thing called Candy Striper when I was a kid. That was one thing. And then there was another level up. I think it was like nurse's aide. And then there was another level up. And this person just kept going up and up, just here and there, here and there. The further they got, the more they felt like they fit, the further they went, and they got exactly where they wanted to be. I don't know if that analogy helps, because I can visualize it in my brain. I don't know if I'm speaking to it correctly, because they started with small, like when I was a kid again, I don't think there's anything called Candy Striper anymore, but it was like they think they worked in nursing homes, and they helped the elderly, but I don't think you had to have any experience to do it. And then the next level up was nurse's aide, which I do believe you had to have like a 2-month course. It was an intensive course. And then that was another level. And then to be something, whatever was above that was like a 2-year course. And then there was something above that, which was an additional 2 years. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Because as long as you let it evolve, you'll find that you fit better and it'll make you more happy. The deeper you get, the more you're going to feel like this is where I'm supposed to be. And you'll feel like you're on that throne, and you'll feel these connections. But the thing is with this is another thing about, I said that part about let the joy in, be social when you can, if you can allow it, twice a week for 3 hours at pop. Social aspirations in this situation seem to be very heavy. So for most of you, I'm sure it's not going to be for all of you because it's a general read. But for most of you, the more social acquaintances you have, the more social acquaintances you make, the more you're going to advance in this situation, the more enriched it's going to feel. I'm looking at this, so I might as well show it. The social aspirations, you might be surprised what they bring in. The love card comes in, 10 of Cups comes in. If you're single, you may find somebody that you marry or you have a long-term relationship by doing that, just to be fair. That might be how that comes forward for you. This was a long one. Did I touch on everything? Because I understand it's like, letting yourself try for it, but then reconstructing it in a way that works for you, researching it a little bit and finding the other paths and find the actual path that matches what would work for you. And you'd be surprised how far you can go with it. That's, I feel like, what you're not seeing. That's what this reading is about. Of course, you don't have to do anything. It's just, I feel like it's just something, it's just trying to put it out there. Like you do have possibilities, just so you know. All right, I'm going to shut this down here. Hope that helps. Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thanks again for watching, and have a great day.